doesn't go. We believe in that philosophy, isn't it? ना कोई आया ना कोई जाएगा, जो है यहाँ है, वहाँ भी है और पीछे भी था। कहाँ शुरू हुआ कहाँ अंत हुआ ना मुझे मालूम है ना आपको मालूम है, लेकिन जो समय हमारे पास है, जितना समय हमारे पास है, क्या हम अपने बच्चों को खाली किताबी कीड़ा बना रहे हैं या हम उनको एक अच्छे इंसान की उम्मीद दे रहे हैं? I think my generation has failed. People who are today blameworthy as corrupt Indians belong to our age group. Most of you are much younger, and I'm sure you also have greater responsibility to change the face of this country. It is a great nation. We have been known as Sone ki Chiriya, and I'm sure it will also happen again, provided you as a teacher create a product which is a true Indian stamp product, not of modern India 2010, 2010, but a product of 5,000 years old, where a teacher was respected. His feet were kissed, they were washed, they were worshipped. But today, the father and mother sit at the dining table. They can make fun of anybody. It could be me, it could be you. So what the children are learning, they're learning to grow up in an atmosphere where there is no respect for anybody. Who's responsible for that? We are, and to some extent our system, our education, our media. And all of us together must share this responsibility, and all of us together must do our best to remove whatever we feel is a handicap, whatever we feel is an impediment, whatever we feel is coming in the way of a truly civilized society. I have a little ode for Sampath. Can I read that? Okay, sorry, Prabha. It's up to you. Okay? It's up to you. It's up to you, Prabha. One song can spark a moment. One song. Okay? One flower can wake up a dream. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. One vote can change the nation. One sunbeam lights the room. One candle wipes the darkness. One laugh will conquer gloom. One step must start each journey. One word must start each prayer. One hope will raise our spirits. One life can make a difference. You see, it's up to you. And one Prabhav can make a difference. Thank you.
Parents who tell me, मैम सबसे इंटेलिजेंट बच्चा कौन सा है क्लास में, मुझे बताइए, एंड मेरी बेटी को इन्हीं के बीच में बिठाइए. So within those few minutes, I find it so impossible to explain to them that what are you thinking of, how are you treating the child, what are your expectations from your child. So it becomes.
I'll just give you an answer, okay? There was a parent. She came to the annual day of the school, and the best child was going to get an award. She went to the stage and she interrupted the program, and she said, how come you made this child the best child, okay? So the principal was aghast. She said, what's your problem? She says, my child is the best child, okay? So for every parent, the parent's child is the best child. So when somebody asks you that question, you say your child is the best child. Under the same norm, every child is the best child, so how does it matter where your child is? Be smart. Okay? Next question. So I believe there are no more questions. Now may I request Mrs. Anita Malhotra. She's been one of the best principals of DPS, and now she's taken over as principal of Lotus Valley, fancy name. And let's welcome her to the lecture. Dr. Shyama Chola, Dr. Parashar, and other esteemed members of the panel, Mrs. Kumar, Mrs. Gogia, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really wondering what am I going to speak after Dr. Chona, because Dr. Chona has really said everything and so beautifully she's put across. Anyhow, the topic given to me is developing values and life skills through school curriculum. Like everything else in the world today, the very conception of knowledge is also undergoing a transformation. It is being redefined in every sense and in every space. The issues that immediately challenge us, however, often goes unnoticed. It would not be inaccurate to say that our world is rapidly approaching what is known as the tipping point, a fine line between salvation and disaster. We are grappling with potentially catastrophic and disastrous phenomena, such as irreversible climate change, religious extremism, bordering on rapid fundamentalism, and unprecedented economic instability marked by severe disparity. This is a time not to ask some very pertinent questions, but to also come up with clear and unambiguous answers to them. The questions that we, as educationists, must address above all are: what role does education have to play in the transformation of the brave new world? How do we adapt our learning systems and our processes to accommodate and appropriately deal with the problems just mentioned? Can we afford to continue with existing structures of education? And if not, then what are the paradigm shifts that must take place? It is these questions that this presentation seeks to answer, and to raise many more while doing so. The traditionally perceived goal of education to make the individual and the society better in some qualitative sense seems to sorely lacking in its current form. In our rush to get everybody educated, we seem to have ignored why we need education in the first place. An idealist conception regarding the necessity of education has become so deeply engraved in our psyche that we tend to overlook the shortfalls in its implementation. This is not even a case of the end overpowering the means, since the end in itself is a hazy territory. At this juncture, it is essential that we confront the nature of knowledge today and its implications for education. With relatively easy access to media and sources of information, it has come to pass that nearly everyone can know a little about everything. What was earlier being heralded as the information is fast revealing itself to be the age of unprocessed data. Facts and snippets of knowledge are floating all around. But knowledge seems to be an endangered entity. Learning in the conventional sense is seen as a passive process where data is fed into the learner, not only to be regurgitated onto an answer sheet, so that one is judged on their ability to reproduce rather than produce. Think about